Hello, Into Tomorrow fans. Dave Graveline with you for the weekly update. Have you picked up the phone to ask Dave lately? Not just because you can win some terrific prizes for participating on the show, but more importantly, we want to hear from you, and you'll hear your call on the air. So pick up the phone, dial 1-800-899-INTO. It's the number right here, 1-800-899-4686. And ask Dave anything about consumer electronics and technology. Looking to break into the HD radio world for your car? Well, the Into Tomorrow team's been playing around with the directed Car Connect HD radio. Here's this week's product spotlight with Rob Almanza and a special guest. Rob?
Thanks, Dave. This week I'm joined by a special guest. Here's Chris Graveline. If you don't know him, he's the tech history guy here on our ITTV pieces and on Into Tomorrow with Dave Graveline. He's going to talk to us about the directed Car Connect HD radio that he recently installed in his truck. The HD radio allows you to listen to the stations between the stations, so it's very cool. Hi Chris, welcome to our product spotlight this week.
Thanks.
Good to have you here.
Thanks, it's good to be here. And it's good to see all of you at home. Well, I guess you can see me, but I can't really see you. Or can I? It's technology.
You can listen to the stations in between the stations with the directed Car Connect.
And that's what I love about HD radio. It's something that's really kicking off. The technology is really picking up. More and more stations across the country are doing HD radio. And not only does it make your normal radio stations sound great, but you also get these stations in between the stations. You know, a lot of stations, they take music that's similar to what they play on their normal stations and they put it on their secondary channels.
So how have you liked the directed Car Connect? What can you do, or tell us about it, the features that it has?
Well, one thing I like is that I can now take my HD radio on the go. I've had a tabletop radio at home, Boston Acoustics radio, that I've been able to listen to the HD radio at home, but until now I haven't been able to take it into my car. And now I can listen to these as I'm driving around town, and it's great.
How was the installation process? How long did it take?
It took me about 2 hours from start to finish. Of course, I know a little bit about, installing things in cars and wiring. If somebody's not really comfortable with that, I would recommend doing the professional installation. Just about any place you would buy these products will offer the installation for you, and it's not really that expensive.
Now, the Car Connect itself, will it tell you the song information when you tune into an HD channel?
It does, as long as the radio station transmit that signal, which down here in South Florida, I would say all but maybe 2 or 3 of them transmit the song information. So you're able to get the song information. One of the things I like about this radio is it gives you a preview of what's on the other channels. If you're, let's say, listening to, let's say 99.9-1, it'll tell you underneath that one what's playing on -2. So that if you want to, you say, look at the display, hey, that's a song I like, let me switch to that station. It'll do that.
That's very cool. So is it integrated with your car stereo? Is it a built-in, or how does it work?
Well, you install it in there. It's got a box that you just install on the dashboard, and it connects through the antenna and uses an FM modulator, which is actually the best FM modulator I've heard on some of these aftermarket products.
So did you experience any problems as you were installing the Car Connect in your truck?
The only issue I had was the Velcro that came with it to attach to the display to the dashboard. The adhesive on the Velcro was no match for the hot Florida sun, but that was an easy and cheap fix. I went to Lowe's, bought a $2 piece of extra strength Velcro, and it's working fine.
Excellent. And how much can our listeners expect to spend on this Car Connect?
We got this one from Crutchfield.com, where it sells for $199.
You can visit graveline.com/sponsors, and there will be a graphic and link to Crutchfield.com if you would like to buy this unit.
You can also get more information on it from directed.com.
Thanks, Chris, for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Now we're going back to Dave.
Thanks, guys. Now it's time for our tech history guy, Chris Graveline, and a very special guest. Guys?
Thanks, Dad. Some would say our guest is special. Others would just say he's special. But it's Into Tomorrow's own Rob Almanza.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. First time on Tech History.
Hey.
So in a year, you can say This Week in Tech History, a very special guest, Rob, met with you.
That would be if it's something we wanted to remember. But in the real history, this week in 1896, the addressograph, a machine that imprinted names and addresses from rubber type glued on a block of wood, was patented by J.S. Duncan of Sioux City, Iowa.
In 1937, the first animated cartoon electric sign was displayed on a building on Broadway in New York City. The sign was a creation of Douglas Lee. It consisted of several thousand light bulbs and presented a 4-minute show that featured a cavorting horse and ball-tossing cats.
You gotta love a cavorting horse. In 1987, for the first time, a compact disc of an album was released before its vinyl counterpart. The Art of Excellence by Tony Bennett, his first recorded work in a decade, went on sale.
Are you a fan of Tony Bennett?
Yeah, a little bit.
In 1879, electric arc lights were used for the first time in Cleveland, Ohio.
And in 1937, the General Pershing Zephyr was put into service as the first railroad car equipped with fluorescent lighting. And in 1887 this week, Hannibal W. Goodwin of Newark, New Jersey applied for a patent for celluloid photographic film, the stuff from which movies are shown.
That's our look back in This Week in Tech History.
History. Now back to you, Dad.
In a couple of weeks, we'll be in Dubai for Home Tech Middle East, and we certainly hope you tune in for that show, see what's going on in the world, that part of the world, as it relates to consumer electronics. We'll be in Dubai for Home Tech Middle East coming up on Into Tomorrow. Of course, This Week in Tech History is always brought to you by TigerDirect.com/Dave. When you need great prices on all sorts of computer equipment and supplies, do visit them at TigerDirect.com/Dave. We'll look forward to seeing you Into Tomorrow. Be sure and come by the website, click on links to our past shows, check everything out at Graveline.com. Thanks for joining.